Hello. Nate here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog on the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching this video. As I drive, we're going to talk about the basics of copyright. Oh man, this is a headache for a lot of people. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a copyright expert. If you are a copyright expert, leave me a comment or send me an email, nate@livesound101.com. I'd like to talk to you. It's something, copyright. Oh man, it's something that comes up. So it's related to live sound. It's something, if you're doing live sound and you're doing recordings, you got to be aware of kind of, let's see, how do I put this? You got to be aware of the field, the landscape. You got to be aware of kind of the basics of copyright and how it's looked at. So if you're like absolutely clueless about what copyright is, this will be good for you. If you already know about copyright, I'm probably going to share things you already know. But this came up for me personally this morning, a few hours ago, when I got a copyright claim against one of my YouTube videos. So I believe it's an errant claim. I believe it's a fraudulent claim from a shady organization that is trying to do malicious things. But anyway, this is why I'm thinking about it. So let's drive without further ado. And I am joined by Princess Sophia right here. So my 4-year-old daughter likes to give me little toys to take to work, and she thinks that they keep me company. And it is adorable, so I entertain that because I think it is the cutest thing. So I got Princess Sophia coming for a ride on this lovely Thursday morning, but I will be releasing this video on Friday because I publish new videos every Wednesday and Friday. Okay, so copyright when it comes to music. All right, so this comes up a lot, and the basic rule of thumb is that this is where a lot of people get tripped up. They buy a CD or they buy a DVD and they go to try to make a YouTube video or something like that, and they're like, wow, this YouTube video would be so much better if I had this awesome pop song in the video. And yes, it would be better if it had it. But the problem is that violates the copyright of that recorded content. So just because you buy a CD for $10 or $15 or $20, whatever you pay for it, that is basically, you have legal permission to have a copy of that. You do not have legal permission to then use that in a creative work or a commercial work. So there's different categories that content can fall into, especially this comes up on YouTube a lot. Like if you're going to monetize a video and try to make money off of it, that's for commercial. So if you've got content that you don't own in there and you're trying to make money off of it, that's a big no-no. And YouTube has this kind of like content flagging system where they will automatically find content ID matches and flag videos that have matches according to their algorithm. And what I've noticed is that sometimes people take advantage of this, or sometimes the algorithm actually isn't that accurate. So for example, if I were to take, I don't know, a Hillsong United album, right, or track, and play it back in this video, that would be copyright infringement. I would have to get legal permission to use that song from Hillsong United. And then even after let's say I even did get legal permission, now I have to try to prove to YouTube that I have legal permission to use that. So you really want to avoid using content that isn't yours on YouTube, even if you get like legal permission to do it. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of YouTubers will join what they call MCNs, multi-channel networks, because the multi-channel networks have legal departments that can help with disputing these claims and the legal stuff. But copyright is much bigger than YouTube. I keep going to YouTube as an example because it's just It's the thing that most people probably have in common. But like, let's say for a live sound person, let's say you are recording your services every weekend, right? You need to get a license that allows you to use copyrighted songs in your worship service. So there are proper channels to go through. One of the popular ones is CCLI, which I can't tell you what it stands for off the top of my head. What I can tell you is that most churches pay this fee monthly or yearly, and it gives them permission to use these songs in their Sunday morning services. And like I said, I'm not an expert on this. We kind of stay away from anything that could possibly fall into copyright material. So we have this license, and we perform the songs live. But then if you want to like record and distribute the songs, I think you need a higher level license. Could be wrong about that. Maybe it's just a one-size-fits-all licenses for churches. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. I'm sure somebody watching this video knows more about it than I do, actually, and they can chime in there. But the point is, if you're going to use someone else's content and record it and distribute it somehow, or even perform it live, you need to go through proper channels, and you need to make sure you have the right license, or your organization has the right license to do that. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Is purchasing a CD or DVD does not give you permission to redistribute. It just gives you permission to listen personally. And you even run into this when you like when you're playing like this, like if you're having like this is popular for youth group to do, like Super Bowl parties, watching the big football game. The NFL has some pretty strict rules about who can distribute their content, and that's kind of going even to another level of some of this stuff, because it's a live broadcast, and there's rules about if you can charge, sell tickets, charge admission, if like even if like a youth group was like, yeah, come to the Super Bowl party and bring $5 for food or something like that. There's just like all these like really weird issues where it's like, well, wait a minute, is the $5 a ticket? Is this a ticketed event? And then you're selling tickets to a Super Bowl, you're redistributing the thing, and then the NFL needs to get involved, and it's crazy sometimes. Not crazy. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just sometimes it's easy to not realize kind of the situation and what would hold up in court versus what you might think might just be common sense. But it's always good to be extra careful with copyright infringement. And so I had this YouTube channel. I have this YouTube channel. It's called Big Nate 84. That's kind of where I started the Live Sound 101 series as a playlist, and then I spun it off and made this channel right here. So if you want more live sound videos, this is where you want to subscribe to Live Sound 101. I made this YouTube channel, and from the get-go, I studied this stuff, and I went to school for sound recording technology, so I learned about this stuff. I produce music. I'm a musician. I've composed and written songs and recorded them, and so when I started this YouTube channel, I knew right out of the gate, I better write some standard background music, theme music for my channel in GarageBand. So I spent a good amount of time composing music in GarageBand, using MIDI instruments, using loops that are in there, and I created my own content from scratch. And this is me thinking like, oh yeah, I know this stuff. I'm going to create my own content from scratch, send it to iTunes, and then put it in my music. Put it as theme music and background music in my YouTube videos. And I'm thinking there's no way anybody can touch me with copyright infringement, because I'm creating this stuff from scratch on my YouTube channel. And what I found is this morning I was hit with a copyright claim against a video that I created 4 years ago. And it's a silly video. It's remote, what's it even called? Remote control battery cover fix. So it was like one of those things where like the little plastic tab on my universal remote control broke. So the batteries were just always exposed. So I came up with a little hack based on materials I had lying around the house. How could I fix this? With some hot glue and a bobby pin, and kind of MacGyvered it all back together. So I made a video about it, and I woke up this morning to DJ Slug or something else, something or other, Mama something or other. Yeah, he's got this, I guess he's got some album called Stream Instrumental or something like that. Anyway, it like gives you all the information about the artist and what LLC they're under, what label they're under, they're a part of, and so I got this whole thing saying like, we believe that from 2 minutes and 34 seconds to 3 minutes and something or other seconds, you're using our song. You're using this guy's song. So and what they do is when you get issued one of those claims, it's not like, we think this is a problem, let's verify it. It's like, you get this claim from YouTube, and the person who's making the claim, all of a sudden, they get all your monetization. This is really messed up. This is really, really backwards. I can't believe it's hard to believe YouTube's actually doing this, because some random person creates some fake label, fly by night label that just pops up called DJ Slug or whatever, and Meridian, I forget, LLC. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. So this company, I'm imagining this company just popped right up, and let's see, is this person trying to cross the road? I don't know what they're doing. They're waiting for a bus. And so they filed this claim against my video, which I know I created the soundtrack in GarageBand. Like, I intentionally did that to avoid any of this mess. Well, somebody issued a copyright claim. Don't know exactly if it was like an algorithm thing where the algorithm messed up, or it found some random passage that was similar and thought it had a match, and it really didn't, because I actually haven't even been able to hear the song that they're claiming I ripped off. I gotta look that up when I get to work to see if I can even find this song. But they're claiming that I'm infringing on this album. And since this morning, any monetization, any ad revenue that I get from this video that I created 4 years ago now goes to this entity, this other person who's making this claim, without any really due process. All of a sudden, the money that was coming into my bank account now is going into somebody else's bank account. Now, granted, the video only has 14,000 views. So this is not one of my high-earning, high-performance videos. But still, it's like, I worked really hard for this. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a content creator. I'm doing things the right way. And somebody can just come in and do a couple keystrokes behind a computer, file a fraudulent claim, and now they're, reaping all the benefits of my work. So this is what's kind of screwed up about YouTube. So, and then it says you can file a counter, like you can dispute the claim. So of course I'm going to dispute the claim, and you have like a little bit of text where you can log in, and you can put your reasoning, and you have to check these boxes. I believe in good faith that this is, an errant claim, yada, yada, yada. And then there's a box that says, I understand that if I am wrong, my YouTube channel can be removed. So I'm like, what the heck? Some random person who I never heard of. And by the way, oh man, some random person I have never heard of files this claim, and now all of a sudden they get the revenue, and on top of that, if I dispute it and for some legal thing goes wrong, my channel can be deleted or removed or suspended or whatever. So this is like, oh man, copyright right now is just a mess. And this is why people join multi-channel networks. It's not to increase their revenue necessarily. I don't like the idea of multi-channel networks. The only idea I like is having a legal department that I can call up for advice. But then if you join a multi-channel network, then they take a percentage of your revenue right off the top every month, and that's just not a fair. It's not a fair deal. Yeah. So here's the other big factor here. I went and looked up this company. I probably shouldn't mention their name, but there's like the DJ or whatever who supposedly has an album, and then there is so it tells you the song, it tells you the album, it tells you the label that the artist published the album under. So I go and look this up, and I find out that a few days ago, an album was like October, like it's November 3rd right now. Yeah, it's like first week in November. Last week in October, an album was released in 2016 with this guy's album, right? So let me get this straight. I uploaded a video 4 years ago, August of 2012, with a soundtrack that I created. And let me just make sure I understand this. 6 days ago, an album from DJ Sluggernutter, or whatever the guy's name is, DJ Fluffernutter, produced an album, and somehow my 4-year-old video has a content ID match with this guy, and somehow I stole his album from 6 days ago and traveled back in time and put it into my video from 4 years ago. So like it's completely unfound. Like there's no merit to this at all. It's completely fraudulent. It's completely a mistake. And it really, if I had a legal department, I'd go after him and say, no, I think you copied you took the soundtrack out of my YouTube video and put it in your album, and that's not right. So that's kind of the way things are right now. And this is why I'm talking about copyright, why you need to be careful about this stuff. And the other factor here is that I did use a GarageBand instrument. I did use GarageBand loops. I don't think that is even relevant, but maybe this guy also used GarageBand instruments and GarageBand loops, and that is why we're getting content ID matches. So I thought I was being all slick and doing things on the up and up, doing things right, and maybe GarageBand is actually something I need to stay away from, and I just need to create everything all original. Don't know. I don't know if that's why. I don't think that's why this is happening. It could be part of the equation. My thought is that this is just a complete fly-by-night record label that popped up, and who knows? Like, how do I know that they didn't actually download my YouTube video, the audio track from my YouTube video, and actually put it in their album purposely, so that YouTube's algorithm would flag it, and then they would be able to collect the monetization. I mean, it's really sneaky to assume that somebody would do something like that, but there's a lot of sneaky patent people out there trying to steal ideas. So who knows? And maybe they've figured out a way to automate this, where they can just download a bunch of YouTube videos from 4 years ago, or somehow identify. I mean, think about how easy it would be to create an app that would find good performing YouTube videos from a few years back, download them, which is illegal. It's against the YouTube policy. Download the YouTube video, suck out the audio, extract the audio, create some sort of fake album website, and publish. Go through the proper channels you have to go through to publish an album legally, according to however YouTube views whatever an album is, and then issue claims against those videos because there's a content match. I mean, it's not hard to do with the technology that's out there, and I just wonder if this is happening on a bigger scale, and I'm just one of the random people that got caught in the middle, but this is kind of happening a lot more. I do apologize for the sun back there. Nothing I can really do about that. except not record videos in the morning. I guess I could not record videos in the morning. I don't really think that a lot of people watch the videos. Like, I don't imagine that people are like, you know, investing 19 minutes and 59 seconds of screen time to watch this whole thing. My thinking is that people put the YouTube video on and consume it more like a podcast, and people are just kind of listening to this in the background. That's kind of my whole thinking about this channel. That's why I don't really care too much about the lighting, and I honestly can't really do too much about the lighting because I'm in a car. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm dealing with over here. So if you've got any advice, if you've dealt with this as a YouTuber specifically, where somebody has an errant claim or a fraudulent claim against you, how have you dealt with it? What do you do? I guess one of the things is to just not use music in your videos, but I don't know. I kind of like having a little bit of music. I know I've got a bunch of videos. I mean, almost my entire catalog has music in it. So the other thing I'm thinking is maybe I can create an album called Big Nate 84 and take all those original songs that occur in my videos and upload them to like Bandcamp or something like that. And then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I prove that I have the original source files and have them in another location, then I can claim that I have permission from myself to use my own music. I don't know. I'm trying to rack my brain about this, but this kind of stuff drives me nuts because, I mean, I'm not like a big time YouTuber. I got like 3.6 million views on my main channel and like 9,000 something subscribers. I'll probably get to 10,000 subscribers in 2017, which 10,000 subscribers will be a big milestone. But man, I put a lot of work into it, and I have like more of an SEO friendly YouTube channel where if people are searching for how to do something specifically, I think I have a pretty good feel for how to rank in the search results. That's what I do well. I don't have millions of subscribers. I don't have like a raging, ravenous fan base that's asking for more content or anything like that on my main Big Nate 84 channel. But I do put a lot of work into it, and it does earn money every month, and that helps us out greatly. It helps pay for groceries. It helps pay the bills. Oh boy. So anyway, those are my thoughts on copyright issues. We kind of got into a little bit of music copyright, talked a lot about YouTube copyright, but that's just because that's what I'm going through right now. So yeah, I would love to know your thoughts. If you could weigh in, tell me your experience with copyright, how you do it at the church. Do you publish sermons only to the outside world? Do you publish and distribute your whole worship set to the outside world? And then do you need a special license for that? Yeah, if you do any of that stuff, love to hear what you guys are doing. So thanks so much for subscribing to the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. Really appreciate it. Community is going over there with like 420 something members over in the Google Plus community. Just saw a post from DC Sound Op. So he joined recently. He's sharing some behind the scenes stuff over in the Live Sound 101 community. So I'm going to go check that video out later on today. But yeah, thanks for joining the community, watching the videos. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this audio lesson here. I'll see you in the next video.